Hi, welcome to Exercise for Beginners, where I teach you how to get started if you've never started before. Today we're going to go over a few exercises for our shoulders and rotator cuffs. I think this is part 8. For the first exercise, you're going to need some lighter weights, 5 pounds, maybe 8, but I usually start people out with 5. We're just going to do like a bent over wide row. This is going to get in between the shoulder blades. So we do want to target in between the shoulder blades because that helps us pull our shoulders back and get more movement along the rib cage. So you're going to hinge over at the hips, arms straight out. You're going to row out nice and wide like so. So I'll show you in front. Wide, wide, wide. So it's a little over exaggerated, but this helps, like I said, get in between those shoulder blades, especially if you're struggling with things like scapular push-ups. This is something that is good, like a good precursor to that if you're struggling with that mobility. All right, there are your bent over rows. From here, we're gonna move into a plank actually. So this is a plank, like cha-cha it's called. That's how I know. I'm sure there's a more specific term for these. So you're gonna be in a plank. The band is gonna be around your wrists, and you're gonna go up, out, and down, up, out, and down. So the nice thing about these, it's 2 for 1. You get a little bit of core work and a little bit of shoulder work. Now, you don't want to be rocking all over the place with these ones. You do want to still try and maintain that stability through your core. So if it's too difficult to do with the band, try without one first. Okay, for this next one, you're going to attach a band to something stable that's at least like hip height so you can kneel. And you can kneel or stand. If you can stand, go for it. But you want the band to be like shoulder height at the minimum. So whatever height you have at home to make that work. So what you're going to do here is you're going to pull back and rotate up and back down. I call these like scarecrows. They are just external rotations. What you want to do with these ones is keep your elbow in line with your shoulder, right? So it's like shoulder height, basically. You're rotating from the shoulder joint here. Pull back, right? So as you rotate, pull that shoulder blade down. Pull that shoulder blade down towards the hip. Down towards the hip. You can tell as I get tired, my arm starts to fall a little bit. Switch sides here. Rotate back. Rotate back. These are very good for that shoulder mobility. I definitely recommend. I always throw stuff like this in between sets of like chest presses and all that to kind of balance things out a little bit. Remember, not every movement has to be a big movement. These guys have value. Work them in. All right, and then from here, I'm gonna have you start in this position, and you're gonna press and come back down. These are gonna be a little more challenging. Come back down. Press. And come back down. So you want to feel it in your mid back, in between the shoulder blades, down to about here. Switch sides. This helps you work on that overhead press pattern. So ideally, you're pressing behind the ear, right? Arm stays behind the ear the whole time. So even if you're struggling to do it, as long as you're feeling that activation in that middle part of your back, you're activating the part of your back that's going to stabilize your movement whenever you do stuff overhead. And that's what you want, right? So I might struggle too to get my arm behind my ear, but I know that when I'm doing it freely, I can. And that's what's important, right? That's the first step you want to get to be able to get your shoulder blade rotating as it should. This will help you get there. All right. Up, Got one more to go. Last but not least, we're going to do a seated lateral raise. So whenever you do some exercises seated, it does actually make them a little more challenging or more isolated because you take a little bit of your core stability out of the equation. So when you're standing doing some exercises, you really have to squeeze everything all the way around, glutes included. It's hard to do that sometimes when you're seated, and it's hard to get help from your glutes. So it becomes more isolated, and if you're more restricted by your weights at home, then this can make it more challenging without having to go up and weight yet. So you're going to stay seated, arms to your side. We're going to do a lateral raise. Lateral raise is a staple for well-developed shoulders. I know that's what we're all looking for. You're going to be doing lateral raises until the end of your days, honestly. But even with this, these are 5 pounds, and I'm getting tired. But very straightforward. Sit up nice and tall. 10 reps or so. Easy peasy. Try not to slouch. Like I said, sit up nice and tall. You do want to squeeze your core as best as you can. But like I said, sitting is really just going to isolate that shoulder movement. And always squeeze a little bit harder with your pinky and ring fingers. If you just follow the path anatomically that connects through the side of the arm, back of the arm, into that shoulder a little bit more. So how you're gripping things does kind of help accentuate certain parts of your body. So it's very subtle, but you will notice a difference. All right, have a good one. Thank you for joining me this week on Exercise for Beginners. If you like my content, please subscribe to my channel. Tell your friends, tell your family. I am just showing some basic stuff to get you started. If you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Have a great day. I try to post weekly.